Some people look at the skyline and say, wow. I say, welcome to my world. For 20 years, my life has been all about buildings. Planning buildings, building buildings, managing buildings. Buildings are my thing, my passion. And after 20 years, you start to think you know buildings. Then, out of the blue, something happens that turns your head around and changes you. Well, for me, it happened just the other night.
You have 12 new messages.
Hey Michael, it's CJ over at River One. Listen, we took a power hit last night at the office.
Hey Michael, it's Tony over here at the club.
Hi, Michael. It's Mary from Lincoln Plaza again. We're still having an issue with our new tenant's build-out.
Hey, Mikey Jack, bad news. That order that's holding everything up came in today, but it's all the wrong spec. It's gotta go back.
Harry, the building engineer, told me to call you about the roof leaks. We're still having the same issues. I really need to get this.
Hey, sweetie. We missed you at dinner tonight. Again. Call me when you get back to the office if it's not going to be too late.
Hey, Michael, it's John over at the Coppers building. I'm still having a problem with the air conditioning system on the 16th floor.
Hi, Daddy. I've got to go to bed now, but Mommy wanted me to remind you about my soccer game tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Hey, Michael, it's Larry. I had 8 guys, ready to go, no truck, again.
Hey, Michael, guess what? We did it. The law firm called back today with a final decision. They selected our property for the relocation, man. We won the search. This is a big deal, bud. I couldn't have done it without all your help and support. We really hit this one out of the park, bud.
Huh. We won. That's something you don't hear every day. But when you do, it's like, wow. All the noise and static goes away, and all at once you're seeing things from a whole new perspective. It's times like this that I remember why I do what I do, why I got into this business in the first place. It's not about bricks and mortar, it's about what you do with them. I mean, just look at that skyline. At first, all you see is the shapes, the geometry, like an abstract painting. Then you step back and it becomes something more real and personal, the signature of the city. Change the frame again and finally, you see what really matters. Not the design, not the materials, not the outside of the buildings, but the people inside. Take, for instance, Karen Williams, the architect. For her, space isn't measured in square feet. It's measured in fit, function, and style. She specializes in designing creative, productive space for her clients, because that's what she demands from the space she works in. For her, space is like a tailored suit, from basic lines to the smallest grace notes, to the way it feels when you're inside it, and the image it presents to others. Or Vanessa. I first met her 10 years ago at a fundraiser. She's become the matriarch of the arts community. She's smart, flamboyant, and always on. Everything she does is an event and a performance, from an intimate meeting to a packed house of friends and patrons. Her space is where public meets private, and everything about it is calculated for effect. For Vanessa, all the world's a stage, and every day is opening night. And then there's John DeMoss. Now, he's what I call a not-so-typical CEO. From the outside, he reminds me of some of the buildings I manage, all right angles and flat surfaces. But behind that plain facade, he's like some wild Zen master. He was one of my first clients. Big relocation to our flagship property. I had him pegged as a suit right away. But he was the one who taught me to look past the surface, to stop seeing a building as space and start seeing it as potential. And this next one was a real surprise. Her name is Yukari. Now, you don't expect a librarian to be hip, and you really don't expect a library to be happening. But Yukari makes you rethink every preconception. In an age where you can download books right to your computer, she's created a real-world space that makes you want to be where the books are. A space where you can read, talk, share ideas, hear a lecture, or just hang out. It's like a salon or a coffee house. Totally interactive chat room where you don't need to bring a keyboard, just yourself. And finally, Nicholas. Self-made man, human dynamo, force of nature, 60,000 square feet and counting. The hardest part about working with him was finding a space big enough to contain all the things he wants to do. He's the kind of guy who makes his vision your vision. The sort of tenant who defines a property and makes it a magnet for offices and retail. 5 tenants like him, and you're set for life. So many different people, so many different needs. You hate the problems, but you gotta love the victories. I'm not just stamping widgets here. Every property, every tenant, every challenge is unique. And every day, I'm shifting focus and perspective, looking at space and people through a different prism, and seeing buildings in a new light.